お待たせしました。それではグローバル賞を受賞されましたカンボジア農村地域におけるコミュニティ図書館事業につきまして、公益社団法人シャンティ国際ボランティア会コミュニティラーニングセンター事業コーディネーター江口秀樹様よりご発表いただきます。よろしくお願いします。
皆さんおはようございます。ご紹介に預かりましたシャンティ国際ボランティア会の江口です。こちら世界に向けて岡山から発信させていただくということで英語でさせていただきますが、皆さんこちら見たりこちら見たり大変だと思いますが、どうぞ15分ばかり20分ばかりお付き合いいただければと思います。よろしくお願いいたします。Before start, we'd like to express our sincere appreciation to our local communities, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport in Cambodia, and any other partners in the project for their earnest commitment to our project, as well as our donors for their understanding and support to our project. Most notably, the people of Japan, as this project is supported by Japanese government official development assistance. And of course, our Cambodian staff for their daily hard work. In Cambodia, we Shanti help establish library-oriented community learning centers, CLC, in rural areas, which provide opportunities for children, youth, and adults to develop literacy, numeracy, life skills, and livelihood skills necessary to combat poverty. Known as Hammock Library, our CLC carry out 4 activities with 3 principles. Our mission is to assist our communities in managing their own CLCs self-sufficiently for their sustainable community development. We run this project in cooperation with multi-players in various sectors with different areas of expertise for a common goal of sustainable development. As a result, recognizing our CLC project as its national model, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport in Cambodia has considerably adopted our approaches in the CLC guideline and acted by the ministry in last July for the standardization of CLCs in the country. Here's my presentation flow. I will first talk about project overview, then CLC platform, and finally 3 simple principles, starting from project overview. Background: Cambodian adults dealing with their harrowing past. During the Khmer Rouge of 1975 to 1979, it is estimated around 75% to 80% of the teachers in Cambodia were killed, died of overwork, and fled the country. This means Cambodia lost nearly 3/4 of its educated people during this period. Moreover, at least half of the written materials in Khmer language were destroyed. This left an indelible scar on the country's education to date. So most adults, approximately in 40s to 50s at present, missed education opportunities in the Civil War and turmoil since 1970s. Consequently, many of them have trouble in reading, writing, and calculation, and face various difficulties in their life. These difficulties eventually trap them in poverty cycle. Here's the poverty cycle many adults in the rural area in Cambodia, rural Cambodia, are trapped in. Now they are illiterate. So they are unable to learn proper knowledge about agriculture and health and sanitation. Then they have less rice harvest and income, plus more medical expense from vulnerability to disease. In the event, they become unable to receive education or provide education to children from poverty. This means the poverty cycle continues to the next generation. This is why many Cambodians in rural areas cannot make a living by farming in their village. So they work away from home as migrant worker. Actually, this is the last thing they want to do because Cambodians value family, living together with family members. In response, the education ministry in Cambodia has been promoting community learning centers. However, most CLCs in Cambodia so far concentrate on vocational training only, like tailoring, as a measure of poverty reduction, but end up unfunctional and unsuccessful, unfortunately. Here comes Shanti's Community Learning Center. Known as Hammock Library. Drawing on our 34 to 35 years experience in education and culture projects in Asia, we Shanti helped establish library-oriented community learning centers in rural Cambodia, where most of the adults are illiterate, lack of basic education, and still without access to basic education, as well as medical service, safe water, toilet, and electricity, no of them. Our CLCs provide opportunities for children, youth, and adults to develop literacy, numeracy, life skills, and livelihood skills necessary to combat poverty. Our CLCs carry out 4 major activities aimed at community development through empowerment. First, library. Second, literacy class. Third, workshops for livelihood improvement. Lastly, sports and cultural recreation. We tackle the issue of literacy in the project as a prerequisite for lifelong learning and ESD. Beyond simply organizing literacy class in our CLCs, we have developed an integrated program of functional literacy in which literacy education is incorporated into 3 other CLC activities. For example, not to mention reading in our library, literacy learners can train their reading skills while learning new knowledge from books. In the workshops for livelihood improvement on agriculture and health and sanitation, literacy learners can put into practice some knowledge they learn from their literacy class or books from our library. This is how we practice the concept we esteem in the project, learning by doing. Learning new knowledge from books and class doesn't necessarily mean we can do this in practice. To learn real knowledge and skills that actually contribute to livelihood improvement, we need to practice over and over with our body moving until it becomes automatic. Furthermore, literacy learners get motivated every time they enjoy karaoke literacy, one of CLC cultural events combining literacy promotion with recreation. In other words, we operate self-sustainable CLCs with library, literacy program, and post-literacy program interrelated and functioning in synergy. We carry out these 4 activities with 3 simple principles. Fun, comfortable, and practical. Put the 4 activities and the 3 principles all together. The chart on the right is what we are doing in our CLC project. Based on this, we aim to break the poverty cycle. Adults in our communities become literate. Then, they can learn proper knowledge about agriculture and health sanitation. As a result, their rice harvest and income will increase, while their medical expense will be reduced from their resilience to disease. So they can receive education or provide education to children. In the course of this process, our mission is to assist our communities in managing their own CLCs self-sufficiently for their community empowerment and development. We aim to empower them to get out of poverty. By empowerment, we don't mean we give them power. We believe people have power already within. We seek only to help them bring out their latent potential to live through their life and build a better future. Put differently, enhance their strength to get out of poverty cycle through their participation in our CLC activities. Are you still with me? You weren't thinking about what to have lunch? Actually, that's a big issue though. Next, CLC platform. I've just said this is how we aim for community empowerment and then community development. But easier said than done. Here's a question. How is it possible an NGO contributes to community development or poverty reduction? Here's our answer. No way. We need partners. Poverty reduction requires not only a cost-cutting approach, but also integrated one. Poverty alleviation is not so effective if we only tackle the issue from one sector, nor if different players across sectors work independently without coordination. We need a cross-cutting approach in a holistic system. We believe CLCs are the best place for this kind of aid coordination in communities. Going back to the third CLC platform, our CLC at the center. Oops. Four activities are interrelated and working in synergy. In this platform, we gather our partners. First group is government agencies at the local, central, and international levels, in yellow. Second group is NGOs, in blue. Third group is private businesses or companies, in orange. In our CLC platform, our partners play an active role in the activity of their specialty, regardless of their sectors. Some partners support literacy class operation. The Education Ministry in Cambodia runs literacy classes in the framework, both technically and financially. To improve the literacy class operation, we arrange ASAC, a Japanese NGO with 20 years experience in literacy education, to train the literacy teachers. Some partners support literacy library operation. While we Shanti are in charge of managing the whole system in consultation with our communities, we demonstrate our own expertise, most in library management. Some partners support sports and cultural recreation. For example, many local small-scale sellers participate in a community market organized in our CLC community hall. Community market being one of the most passionate needs of our communities, as this is a symbol of rich, thriving community. And other partners participate in workshops for livelihood improvement. For example, we arrange setup at local NGO specializing in agriculture to train around 25 key farmers in each community who take a central role to spreading the advanced agricultural knowledge and skills to the entire community afterward. Also, we incorporate World Vision's projects into the program of livelihood improvement. World Vision conducts workshops on a variety of topics, ranging from child maternal health, community forestry, to leadership development, traditional dance class, and English class. In addition, many other NGOs also provide workshops in our CLCs on agriculture and health and sanitation, mostly. This is the idea of CLC platform we have devised in Cambodia, an integrated framework for cross-sectoral collaboration. Our CLCs are a catalyst and platform for collaboration where multi-players with different areas of expertise cooperate for a common goal. Here are the current partners who utilize our CLCs for their activities or support the project. UNESCO Phnom Penh and NGO Education Partnership, the most influential education network for NGOs in Cambodia, implement public relations and help spread our model in Cambodia. In addition to these with logos shown here, we cooperate with local government agencies, health centers, and a number of local small-scale private businesses. And we are still looking for more partners to share a common goal. Finally, coming back to three simple principles again. Why does education need to be fun, comfortable, and practical anyway? In the course of project formation, we first carried out in-depth research into the villagers' interests and needs using a method called picture map analysis, as shown on the screen. We then developed our activities based on them. In other words, we suited our projects to users' conveniences and preferences by bottom-up approach. In this process, we started to be skeptical about the effectiveness of current mainstream approaches and methods in non-formal education, or more broadly, poverty reduction. We thus started to design a project from scratch, free from common sensus in the fields. There are so many projects offering useful programs, but how practical they are for their target users. If a program is not practical or relevant enough to adapt to the real situation of the users, it is of little or no value. Also, how about the significance of pleasure and ease of mind in the program? All over the world, there is a common problem in non-formal education. People don't come. In non-formal education or real society, people are busy with their daily work. It is no wonder they don't come because non-formal education is not compulsory education. If people don't like it, or if activities are not based on their interests or conveniences, they don't simply come. Then what does it take to get people to participate in non-formal education programs? Our answer is casual approach to education. Considering the fact that non-formal education targets tend to be less familiar to education, we need a more casual approach to education. We believe what's lacking in non-formal education around the world is the significance of joy and comfort. Not only being practical, the programs need to be fun and comfortable. For example, literacy class is conducted in the night. This means we have to ask our participants to come after a day's work. Imagine yourself after work. After hours of hard work, you are finally done with your work today. Do you feel like studying after this? Going to study? Do you feel like it? For those who think yes, you are diligent. But come on, keep it real. Me, I don't. I'd rather feel like grabbing a beer and watching TV at home. Oops, you didn't hear anything. Actually, many people in our communities and any other disadvantaged communities across the world have a similar feeling. They basically feel the same way. Then, what should we do with our non-formal education programs? We better start thinking about how to make our programs fun and comfortable, as well as, not to mention practical, to maximize the possibility of user participation and outcome. People come to a place where they can get joy and comfort. Who said the poor should not have a time for recreation? Is it luxurious to ask for enjoyment and rest in your life? We believe they are part of life in dignity. Actually, we believe any people at risk of losing hope, trapped in poverty cycle, all the more need a time for recreation or something in their life to help keep them encouraged and motivated to take positive action against poverty. For more detailed information, please visit our website. To promote understanding about the award and the project, we release the application documents for the award on our website. Like this. We Shanti are further committed to improving our CLCs, while at the same time innovating the field of community learning centers and non-formal education across the world. By doing so, we aspire to contribute to the lives of all the people across the world seeking a learning opportunity for a better future. Lastly, thank you very much, 岡山。岡山の皆さん、ありがとうございました。
江口様